Skinny Holloway, Sheldon T, back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor, y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, y'all will do your boy a solid, smash that like button for your boy. We're here for a good time now, a long time here to have us a boxing conversation. You know what I mean? This is something I've been following for a minute, not just I've been following this for a minute, right? Not just no, this ain't something that I just came across. This is I'm trying to figure out why my EP ain't started yet. Okay, there we go. Okay, my bad, y'all. I'm sure like bro. Stream y'all be tripping, so y'all be going where they want to. Like it say 0 people in here. My volume low, bro. Something going on. Something going on, brother. Can y'all hear me? It's stream y'all, bro. Something going on. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy, man. Can y'all hear me? BC, can you hear me? Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. Man, it say I'm live, but my thing ain't live. Hold on, let me see. I don't know what the heck they got going on, but I'm gonna just keep it going. I'm gonna keep it going. Hopefully it clears itself up on the back end. Hopefully it fixes itself up on the back end, right? But I'm gonna keep going, right? We're in the wake of the Javante Davis, Ryan Garcia fight, right? So Oscar De La Hoya, CEO of Golden Boy Promotions, he's been doing a lot of, you know what I mean, talking as I guess you could say, promoing. I don't know what the heck going on with StreamYard though. We gonna make it do what it do. I ain't gonna waste too much of y'all time with this thing. No way. You know what I mean? But we're in the wakes of the Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. Like I can see y'all comments, y'all. But bro, it say 0 people in here. I don't know what the fuck going on with this shit right now. I swear it say 0 people, but I can clearly see y'all comments. I can see y'all likes. I don't know what the hell going on. On this joint, right? It say I ain't even went live yet. It say I ain't even went live yet on this joint. Yeah, it's red, but I don't know. It's red for sure. But I'm talking about on this one. On this one, it say upcoming still. Yeah. And I'm clearly on there. And I'm clearly on there, right? But I digress, right? Oscar De La Hoya been doing a pretty big press run. You know what I mean? The way to the Tank Davis Ryan Garcia fight. You look up, that fight is about 2 weeks away, right? That junk came around a lot faster than I thought. Was good, y'all. It still say 0 people in here. I can see y'all comments though, so I see y'all in the building. What's good? Skills Just Do, Josh Sanders, my girl Jazz BC. Appreciate y'all sliding through. If y'all could hit that thumbs up for your boy. He'll keep the lights with the views. Let YouTube know that we live. I don't know what's going on. You know, with my StreamYard and my YouTube as of late. I feel like they have to get me. But we gonna make it do what it do. Everybody, y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy. Let YouTube know that we talking this good boxing, right? But Oscar De La Hoya had been saying that he been saying a whole lot lately, given that one of his fighters is about to fight in one of the biggest fights of the year. Hold on. What's wrong with the mic, BC? What's wrong with the mic? I can hear that, y'all. But Oscar De La Hoya been saying Oscar De La Hoya been saying a whole lot. You know what I mean? He been saying a whole lot. You know, he said something the other day. he said something the other day, right? He said now that he made the Tank Day versus Ryan Garcia fight. Uh, I think uh, I think now I'm ready to make the Jamal Charlo versus Hammy Munguia fight. And if you've been if you've been paying attention to this situation, like you've been kind of keeping your eye and your ears to this situation, or like I have myself, it's good now. Okay, bet for sure, for sure. If you've been kind of paying attention to that situation, like I have myself, right, which a lot of us have, right, we all love the sport of boxing here. Canelo and Jamal Charlo was about to fight last year, right before Canelo fought Dimitri Bivol. He was in talks to fight with Jamal Charlo, right? It was either going to be actually the Bivol situation had came out of nowhere. He was strictly in talks to fight Jamal Charlo, right? And then the situation came up where the Bivol fight came up. The zone made him an offer or whatnot. Then he was choosing between Bivol and Jamal Charlo, right? And ultimately, as we all know, he went on to pick Dimitri Bivol, did Canelo, and Canelo ended up losing that fight, right, to Dimitri Bivol. So that caused a bit of an uproar, right? You had some people saying, Canelo ducking Charlo again. You had some people saying Charlo don't deserve to fight. Charlo never had a big fight, right? Type deal. So pretty much, the same. You either feel like Canelo ducked Charlo, or you feel like Charlo, quote unquote, don't deserve to fight, or he never had a big fight, right? So the backup plan for the Canelo Alvarez fight when it fell through for Jamal Charlo was Hammy Munguia. Jamal Charlo stated that, if he couldn't get the Canelo Alvarez fight, that he wanted to fight Hammy Munguia. Him, Jamal Charlo, and the PBC reached out to Eddie Hearn. I said Eddie Hearn to Golden Boy and Oscar De La Hoya about a Hammy Munguia fight, right? And to my surprise, Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy obliged. Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy, they said, cool. Hammy Munguia would be available to fight Jamal Charlo. Hammy Munguia will be available to fight Jamal Charlo since the Canelo fight fell through. So negotiations started between Jamel and Hammy Munguia, and then eventually that fight fell through, and Hammy Munguia ended up fighting what's the guy called Demetrius Ballard or something like that. And then more talks and more, criticism came in down on Jamal Charlo. He don't make the big fights. He couldn't fight Canelo. He couldn't fight Hammy. All that good stuff, right? But what I caught was what Oscar De La Hoya said 2 days ago. It didn't match up to what Oscar De La Hoya is saying now. You know what I mean? Now, what Oscar De La Hoya said back then, right? Back then, Oscar De La Hoya said that the Charlo and the Hammy Munguia fight didn't happen because Al Heyman wouldn't allow the fight to happen because he wanted to have, he wanted to get a certain amount of the proceeds, but the fight was going to be on Showtime PBC. But Oscar De La Hoya wanted to get paid like the fight was going to be on Golden Boy and the Zone, right? So that's why the fight fell through, the first time. That's the reason that he said the first time. Like when it originally happened, when Charlo and Munguia fell through originally, he said that it was a money issue. Al Heyman was trying to control the fight. He didn't want to let them air the fight on the Zone, right? But 2 days ago, Oscar De La Hoya was doing this press run for the Golden Boy and PBC co-promotion the fight with Ryan and Tank, right? No, Oscar De La Hoya stuck his mouth in his foot twice. He stuck his mouth in his foot twice yesterday. He put his mouth in it, still say zero, but that's the crazy part. And he put his foot in his mouth twice. You know what I mean? The Oscar De La Hoya. Yesterday, Oscar De La Hoya, he stated that he's excited about, being business partners with Al Heyman again, right? And he said, which is what caught my eye and my ear, right? He said, now that me and Oscar De La Hoya have worked, together to make this Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis fight, he said it's now time to make the Charlo versus Hammy Munguia fight. You know what I mean? So now, when you listen to that on the surface, It sounds pretty simple, right? But I have been paying attention to this situation for a minute now. And originally, you told me that you couldn't make the fight because Al Heyman was being difficult and because they didn't want to give you, the option to have their fight on the zone, right? But now, what you're saying, Oscar De La Hoya, because you fucked up, right? You fucked up. Now, what you're saying, Oscar De La Hoya, is that you ready to make you are assured that you could make that fight. Now is the time to make that fight, right? You assured us that you could make that fight now because you made the Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis fight. So what I got from there was that originally, after Canelo and Jamal Charlo fight fell through, your intent was never to make Charlo versus Jaime Munguia, which is why you agreed to that fight. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, that fight got scrapped too, because of a contract disagreement or a contract dispute between your side and Charlo's side. That further note let me know right then what you said yesterday, those 2 days ago, lets me know that back then you was bullshitting. The intent was never for Jaime Munguia to fight Jamal Charlo. Jaime Munguia has had, at this point in his career, about 2 or 3 chances to fight Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo is the big brother to the other twin that we watched yesterday. Yeah, I did. But yeah, this is brother I'm talking about today. But he had multiple opportunities to fight, Jamal Charlo. The thing about Jamal Charlo is people say, oh, well, he hadn't done nothing since 154. He wasting his career. Like, he a waste of talent, right? All that talent, and he only fight once a year and all that bull crap, right? But people also forget, right? People, because people surface level thinkers. Most people don't, dig deep. Most people don't, think farther than what the eye meets, right? Which is how most people miss out on a lot of things, right? Being surface level thinkers. But if you dig a little deeper in this situation, people will tell you, well, Jamal Charlo, as of late, right? Not throughout his career, but as of late, right? Jamal Charlo ain't had a big fight, right? But they'll ignore the fact that Canelo Alvarez won't fight Jamal Charlo. That Jaime Munguia won't fight Jamal Charlo. That Triple G won't fight Jamal Charlo. Everybody in the middleweight division that people think will beat him or that we praise, right, or that people have ranked higher than him, refuse to fight Jamal Charlo. So it's easy to say Jamal Charlo ain't fought no big names, right? But it takes 2 people to party. It takes 2 people to tango. You can't tell me what's good, Eddie Chavez. You can't tell me a big name at middleweight that Jamal Charlo ain't called out, that he ain't tried to fight. You can't. And it's crazy that Jamal Charlo will get this jacket right, but a guy like Jaime Munguia don't get the same jacket. And you look at his resume, he got just as many or more fights than Jamal Charlo. And he don't have not a tip, slither, or a piece competition that Jamal Charlo has. You know what I mean? So one thing is, why is it so befitting for people to pin that tag on Jamal Charlo, right? That's a conversation for a whole nother day. But my thing here is Eddie. I say Eddie here. I keep calling Oscar Eddie here, I guess, because they both for the shit. You know what I mean? But Oscar De La Hoya, he stuck his foot in his own mouth. Oscar De La Hoya snitched on himself, right? He talked too much. And the truth came out. And the truth is that you said, oh yeah, because we made Ryan and Tank, now we could finally make the Charlo Jaime Munguia fight. Meaning that you was never planning to make Charlo Jaime Munguia back then when you was pump faking. Yeah, fact, BC. They both full of. I hate to brush you. I did that, y'all. Hello, y'all. I'm finna die. Finna pass out. I helped you when you passed out. I'm finna get to this article. Y'all. I'm messing with you. I'm finna get to this article, y'all. So y'all gotta take my word for it. We gonna get straight to it. Now I want y'all to listen to this man, right? Now, what he doing is he's trying to promote a Charlo versus Jaime Munguia fight now, right? But what I did was I caught his ass red-handed because you saying now, he's like, I would love to make Munguia versus Charlo now that he finalized the deal with Garcia and Davis with the PBC, right? Now being the operative word. He said, yeah, I love to make that fight now. So that means that you wouldn't have loved to make it back then, which is why it never happened, which is what Southern T been telling people for years. It's not that Jamal Charlo not trying to fight these people, because these people really and truly don't want to fight Jamal Charlo. Deep down, outside of Boo Boo Andrade, right? We know Boo Boo situation, right? But we also know the situation with Boo Boo and Charlo. Shout out the Andrade brothers. Shout out them. They came on the show. Shout out them folks. But I digress, right? I digress. As aggravating as negotiations for Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia bout became, the completion of the deal has left Oscar De La Hoya optimistic about putting together more fights with Al Haymon in the Premier Boxing Championship. Remember, I did the EP a while back on Oscar De La Hoya saying he looking to make multiple fights with Al Haymon in the PBC. He was like, Al Haymon and Oscar De La Hoya back together again. Who would have thought it? You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't know that Oscar De La Hoya and Al Haymon and them all used to work together over there at HBO before they split, and they all pretty much went their own way and got their own thing, right? You got Top Rank, you got DAZN, and you got PBC, Showtime, Fox. You know what I mean? So they all used to work together at some point in time. They all will come together and work together now if the fight big enough. You know what I mean? Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy when you roll on in. I don't know how many y'all in the building because it says 0 on my end, but I got 16 likes. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy when you roll on in. But I digress. Garcia's promoter mentioned Jamal Charlo and Jaime Munguia as another PBC Golden Boy Promotions matchup he hopes to make now that the companies have worked in conjunction to finalize the biggest fight on the boxing calendar in 2023. Charlo versus Munguia wouldn't do the type of big business expected as Davis and Garcia, but it is as intriguing as a middleweight title fight that the two companies attempted to schedule late last spring. So that's them kind of mentioning the fight that I was talking about late last spring when they pretended that they wanted to fight Charlo, and then he pulled out a fight for a bullshit reason that nobody understood. Now we know why, because he was never intended on making that goddamn fight. You know what I mean? Which is basically what he done said now, talking too much. What he done said now, oh yeah, I'll make that fight now. What you mean now, nigga? What you supposed to make that fight last summer? Cap. He said, I don't blame them for not wanting to fight Mal. He be hitting like that. Never forget how he did J-Rock respectfully. Yeah, fact. I be telling people that. I be telling you that pound for pound, different, man. That pound. Now you ain't seen the Big Brother yet. I gotta show you the Big Brother. Got to show you the Big Brother. But yeah, he be rocking. The little brother more skill, but the Big Brother he's strong. He be swinging. He kind of like her a little bit. So he swing like this. Huh? Like a big dude, yeah. Power. What's good, DP? Appreciate you sliding through this thing. Glad I can make it. We ain't heard Oscar De La Hoya doing that. I don't think he's capping right now. I really do believe him now, but that lets me further know that he was capping back then when he was running us through that bullshit. You know what I mean? But I digress, right? Just the words of Oscar De La Hoya, straight out the horse's mouth. Right? He said, well, the perfect fight that I would love to put together now as well is Jaime Munguia against Jamal Charlo. He said that's another fight that can take place. So I'm actually very happy that we can work with the PBC and make this happen because it opened doors for other fight possibilities. That's Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya. He said, when asked about could the fight be made, absolutely, said Oscar De La Hoya. You know, our partners with DAZN and Showtime, you know, we put this together, we can make others. So I'm very optimistic that we could have the prime versus the prime type of fights that boxing deserves. Y'all also remember I did a Southern T EP earlier about DAZN, right, as a whole, losing about, god dang, what was it, $8 billion or something like that, right? And I said, don't be surprised if DAZN, Golden Boy and them be more inclined on making these big fights that they've been, you know, capping about these other years because they got to make that money back this year. They got to get some revenue coming in. They got to get some profit going because the owners at DAZN are tired of losing money. The owner of the Zone came out, and I forgot his name, but when I was doing the EP, you know, he got a funky ass last name and his first name regular, like Jen or something. He got like his name like Jen something. He got a funky ass last name, right? But the Jen dude had said he was like, because he loved boxing, right? That dude got a whole bunch of money. He like a billionaire type dude. So him losing 8 billion, that's a lot to us, a lot to anybody, right? Like anybody. But if you got, let's say, 50 of those things, if your family, you know, is goddamn cousins of King of fucking England and shit like that, right? That shit don't really matter to you, right? So him losing 8 billion, right? That's like him losing maybe 8 million to a nigga with 500 million, right? It's a hit, but it ain't really a hit for him. It's a hit, right? But he doing this because he loved it, right? What he said was, when we first came out, right, there was trial and error. He said, now everybody got their feet wet and everybody understand what's going on now. And I expect us to have a major improvement from here going forward. They sound like the boss man putting pressure on them. He like, look, y'all got a year or two. I've been losing all this money. Y'all got to get right. And I think that's what De La Hoya and Eddie Hearn them doing. They make y'all see they making all these big fights and shit like that. Now all of a sudden, right? Only fight we really ain't got is Earl and Bud. And that's, you know, that don't got nothing to do with this situation, right? But the zone in them, you see the Zone, Eddie Hearn, Oscar De La Hoya, you see they real this year, they real inclined and soon to get these big fights made. Is because the cat out the bag that they been losing money. You know what I mean over there. So I ain't surprised that he want to make Charlo-Munguia because that's the fight that the people want to see. That's a fight that will make him money. You know what I mean? And he knew that back then, right? But the thing was back then he had the bread. You know what I mean? That's when they was issuing the bread. That's why he was spending all this money. You see Eddie Hearn buying fighters here, buying fighters there, buying this, buying that. Oscar De La Hoya signing Canelo for 50 million. Eddie Hearn coming back signing Canelo for goddamn 100 million. You know what I mean? Type shit. So they throwing all that money around. They was spending the money then. That's why the Zone is in debt. Now they got to make that shit back. So them fights that they knew would have made them money then, but they didn't want to make because they knew their fighter wasn't going to win. You know, fights like Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia, that's not going to happen in 2 weeks. You know, fights like Charlo-Munguia versus Charlo. Now he, got some fire under his ass and he want to make that fight happen, right? It's because they know that's the fight that's going to put the seats in their asses, that's going to sell. Remember Ryan Garcia used to do them fights and wasn't nobody there? Don't nobody Charlo-Munguia ever, folks. You know what I mean? He done patting them people records. Now you got to throw him in that fight because you got to make some money. You got to make some money now, protecting that. Oh, that shit done. You know what I mean? You got to make that bread. You got to make the big fights. Canelo got to fight Bivol again because that's a zone fight. I'm telling you, that ain't something that Canelo necessarily want to do, but that's something that probably is going to happen. Why do you think they keep throwing out these? Why do you think they keep throwing out these goddamn stipulations and shit? Why do you think they keep throwing out these stipulations and shit at Dimitri Bivol? Because they trying to get him to go take that Canelo Alvarez fight. They don't want him to get undisputed at 175 because that'll keep him from fighting Canelo. They got to get that Canelo fight made, man. They need their bread over there. The Zone. Golden Boy and Matchroom work for the Zone. You know what I mean? Bivol and Canelo make sense for them. You know what I mean? The biggest fight he can make for Ryan Garcia is Tank Davis. The biggest fight he can make for Charlo-Munguia is Jamal Charlo. You know what I mean? Oscar got to start doing what makes sense. They pressure on their ass now. But this whole EP right here was about Oscar De La Hoya capping us out. Like, people be hard on Jamal Charlo. Like I get it. I get it. He ain't he fight once a year, right? He ain't had a big face that Munguia even make 160. He almost died trying to make that way his last fight. Yeah, he can. He didn't had a fight since he almost died, Josh Sanders. He had a fight since then. He had one fight since then. And he ended up stopping the guy, Charlo-Munguia. He did. He had one since then. Yeah, he said he fighting at 160. They said he fighting at 160. They said there was a bad count. That particular fight, they said that fight was a bad count. But he fighting at 160. 160 gonna be his 160 gonna be his division. But just the word, and he still says 0 people. Just the word of what Oscar De La Hoya was saying, right? He said, yeah, I feel that now is the time to make that fight. But that's because you knew that back then, the first time you knew you was capping, you was gonna get your fighter knocked out, but you ain't want to get your fighter knocked out. You know what I mean? But then the cat came out the bag, and information like that don't drop unless somebody want that information out. The cat came out the bag that the zone was in debt, that the zone had been losing money, that the zone had lost what they said $3.8 billion in 2021 or something like that. You know what I mean? The cat came out the bag, right? And then I noticed, I said, Oscar De La Hoya showed talking real good about the PBC. And the relevance of that is y'all know how bad they talk about the PBC. PBC going out of business. PBC don't want to make the good fights. You know what I mean? All that good shit that Oscar De La Hoya will be talking about the PBC. Now all of a sudden this year rolling around and his whole tune didn't change. You know what I mean about the PBC. It's because Oscar De La Hoya and everybody else know that that's where the money is. That's where the best fight is at. That eventually, right, even Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, right, that eventually, right, you're going to have to cross that PBC side to really go back. When you look at the biggest fights in history, PBC name all over them, not just one of them, but look at the top 10. Most of those things, PBC fights. And the PBC ain't been out as long as, some of those other guys. So add that into perspective as well. But I ain't gonna keep y'all in this thing too long. I greatly appreciate y'all sliding through. I got some fight breakdown and prediction I'm gonna drop later on. Short jumps, about 8 minutes. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. Y'all smash that like button. Tell a friend. It's getting harder with 7T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. Just the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Love.